full of vitamin C.
Who keeps your teeth and gums in shape? We do, we got vitamin C. Helps you heal a bad cut or scrape. We do, we got vitamin C. We help you out so naturally, 'cause we're so full of vitamin C. It can even heal a nasty bruise. Think about that when you choose your food. Vitamin C. It does so much, it's good for me. Vitamin C. Eat your 5 a day and it's easy.
Vitamin C. We're so full of vitamin C.
Who helps your muscles and bones stay fit? We do, we got vitamin C. Who helps your body use the iron it gets? We do, we got vitamin C. We help you out so naturally, 'cause we're so full of vitamin C. It fights diseases, by the way. Eat at least one serving every day. Vitamin C. It does so much, it's good for me. Vitamin C. Eat your 5 a day and it's easy. You can start your day with juice. Put a sea fruit in your lunch. At dinner time, you can choose a tasty, delicious veggie to crunch.
All the sea vegetables, take a bow.
Cauliflower, peppers, broccoli, and more.
Let's hear from all the sea fruits now.
Kiwi, strawberries, bananas galore.
A special hand for the citrus group.
Oranges, grapefruits, and tangerines.
Let's give it up for the vitamin C group.
Vitamin C. It does so much, it's good for me. Vitamin C. Eat your 5 a day and it's easy. Vitamin C. It does so much and it's good for me. Vitamin C. Eat your 5 a day and it's easy. Vitamin C. So healthy for me.
The purpose of this forum is to provide a nutrition talk to the community, emphasizing the benefits of vegetarian diet, wellness, and the treatments of different diseases or preventing different diseases. This evening we have a very special person that is coming to us from the state of Hawaii. She's a public health nutritionist. I actually know Jodi since she was in high school. She interviewed me when I was a dietitian at Kona, the Big Island. So I didn't even know it was her when I called her and request for her to come out here and give us a talk on 5 a day. I shouldn't have mentioned that, but now everyone knows how old I am, much older than she is. But let her give you some information about what she's been doing and introduce herself a little bit. Jodi Leslie. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming and for having me here. As Malia mentioned, straight in my lane. I'm with the Hawaii Department of Health with the Nutrition and Physical Activity section. I'm a nutritionist there, and I was asked to come today to speak about 5 a day. How many of you have heard of 5 a day or know what 5 a day is? Oh, that's great. So most of you, so you kind of more or less know what kind of things I'll be talking about. Usually the way I do my presentations, if there are any questions that come up throughout the presentation, I don't mind taking them throughout the presentation because it's good for everyone to hear and know as we go along, and sometimes that helps the learning process as well. So if anyone has questions, please don't hesitate to ask me throughout the presentation. So the topic of my discussion is 5 a day, the Hawaii way. Just to give you some background on what 5 a day is, it was actually a program that originated in California in 1988 as a 5 a day program to address cancer prevention and control. In 1991, the National Cancer Institute and the Produce for Better Health Foundation had turned it into a national campaign, and that's when it became the National 5 a Day for Better Health program. In the year 2000, a program review and resulting evaluation report found it to be highly successful, and so despite limited resources, they called for a program expansion. So in 2001, the National 5 a Day Partnership was established. So this 5-a-day partnership is comprised of many different organizations and agencies with the interest in health. So as you can see from these logos up here, it's represented from people from the National Cancer Institute, from the United States Department of Agriculture, from the Centers for Disease Control, American Cancer Society, American Heart Association, the Produce Marketing Association, the United Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Association, the National Alliance for Nutrition and Activity, and the Association of State and Territorial Directors of Health Promotion and Public Health Education. Kind of a long title. So it's made up of a pretty diverse group. The vision of the National 5-a-day Partnership is to have a comprehensive, coordinated national campaign infrastructure that increases fruit and vegetable consumption to 5 a day for 75% of Americans by the year 2010. So in order to achieve this vision, they feel that the campaign must be embraced by multiple spheres of influence. So that would include the individual, the family, interpersonal, organizational, industrial, community, media, and policy, to include local, state, and national levels of action with multiple approaches, including community efforts, communications, industry, programs, policy changes, environmental change, and economic change, and to incorporate a 5 to 9 servings message. So within this partnership, they develop subcommittees that would help achieve this vision. So the subcommittees are 5 different subcommittees, which is communication, research and evaluation, state, regional, and community organizations, industry, and policy and advocacy. So for the state, regional, and community organizations, the goal of that subcommittee is to develop a national strategic plan to develop a well-coordinated, well-integrated state and community infrastructure to increase significantly consumption of fruits and vegetables. So they're going to do this by making the 5-a-day program a cornerstone of chronic disease prevention and health promotion programs in states, regions, and communities. And I think this is important because a lot of people think of fruits and vegetables as like a way to lose weight and don't really think of it as a way to prevent diseases or chronic disease. So it's a very important approach, I think. The strategies to achieve this objective is to initiate a planning process and to encourage the state and communities to include national priorities, to make 5-a-day a priority for public officials and leaders in nonprofit and business sectors, and to make 5-a-day an integral part of existing nutrition and health programs. And the second objective is to enhance state and local effectiveness for promoting fruit and vegetable intake. And they're going to do this by enhancing funding, strengthening partnership, coordination, and collaboration, to build strong leadership, to support development, replication, and dissemination, to coordinate and create synergy, to provide surveillance support, to coordinate with industry, and to provide strategic direction for policy. So why eat fruits and vegetables? As I mentioned before, a lot of people think of this as a way to lose weight, but it actually contains a lot of vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, and fiber that plays a major role in reducing your risk of heart disease and cancer. It will also help protect against the effect of aging. It will help to keep your energy levels up, to promote healthy growth for children, and to provide improved immune function and to maintain good health. Right here what I have listed is a graph that shows the fruit and vegetable consumption in the state in the year 2001. The light blue color is those who have met eating at least 5 fruits and vegetables a day or more. Not as high as we would like it to see. It's a little over 20%, and as was mentioned earlier, they want to achieve it to at least 75%. So we still have a long ways to go. I wanted to list the rates of obesity in the state because it is a growing problem and it is something that can be helped by eating fruits and vegetables daily. So as you can see, we're about at the 50% level as far as people who are overweight and obese in the state, where the Big Island of Hawaii have the highest rates and Maui having the lowest. So as you can see, this is a major problem right now, not only in the state but in the nation as well. When you look at the causes of death in Hawaii for 2001, the 3 leading causes of death is heart disease being number 1, followed by cancer, and then stroke. So these are the rates for that by state and by island. I put diabetes in there not necessarily because it's one of the top leading causes of death, but because the risk can be reduced by eating a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. So the recommendations are actually eat 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables. And they just increased this recommendation. Before it's eat 5 a day. Now it's eat 5 to 9 a day. So as you can see in the top left-hand corner, there's a little change in the logo. Before they just used to have the 5 there, but now they have the 5 to 9. And then they also recommend, on top of that, to eating daily at least 1 fruit and vegetable from each of the 5 color categories, which I will go over in a second. And then if you break it down as far as what the exact recommendations are by age group or by gender, as you can see, for children it's less. It's a minimum 5. For children 2 to 6, it's 5, with 2 servings coming from fruit, 3 from vegetable. For children 6 years and older, teen girls and most women, the recommendation is to have 7 servings with 3 fruit servings and 4 vegetable servings. And for teen boys and most men, it's 9 servings with 4 fruits and 5 vegetables. It's more important to emphasize vegetables than fruits, but both are important overall. As far as what is a serving, I know a lot of people tend to get confused by a serving and they think it actually means eating 5 whole fruits and vegetables, but it's not quite like that. A serving is 1 medium-sized fruit. So a medium-sized fruit, the best way I can compare it is to maybe about the size of a tangerine. That would be considered about a medium-sized fruit. To have 3/4 a cup or 6 ounces of 100% fruit or vegetable juice. And again, 100% is a key word. So this is like your 100% orange juice, your 100% apple juice, or vegetable juice. This wouldn't be like, like the guava orange juice or the passion orange juice, which is like only 10% fruit drink. So there's a big difference. To eat 1/2 cup of fresh, frozen, or canned fruit or vegetable. So a 1/2 cup is actually not really that much. I usually bring a prop to demonstrate 1/2 cup, but I don't have it with me right now. It's not very much when you actually measure it. 1 cup of raw leafy vegetables, so that would be like lettuce. 1/2 cup of cooked, canned, or frozen peas or beans, or 1/4 cup of dried fruit. So it's actually not a whole lot. It's not very hard to get your 5 to 9 servings a day. Now going back to eating by color, one of the color categories that they emphasize you must eat is red. Now what they found with red colored fruits and vegetables is that it helps to promote a healthy heart, helps to improve your memory, it provides a lower risk of some cancers, and it also helps in urinary tract health. So some examples that are listed over here is the red apples, red cherries, the blood oranges, pink grapefruit, strawberries, watermelon, beets, red cabbage, red peppers, red onions, red potatoes, tomatoes, red grapes. So pretty much anything with the red color would be considered in this category. The second color category is orange-yellow fruits and vegetables. With this color category, it also helps to provide a lower risk of some cancers and a healthy heart, but it also helps to promote vision, your vision health, as well as a healthy immune system. And so examples listed over here are the yellow apples, cantaloupe, the lemons, mangoes, papaya, yellow pears, pineapple, tangerine, butternut, squash, pumpkin, corn, oranges. So, anything that's orange or yellow. Yes?
I was just wondering, carrot is such a common vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a reason why it wasn't listed? Or
No reason. It would belong in this group. It's just that it wasn't listed as an example. But I wanted to try to give more non-typical examples because a lot of people usually think of carrots. First thing when they think of orange. So I wanted to give other examples of yellow-orange stuff. A good question. Okay, for the green category, promotes vision health, a lower risk of some cancers, strong bones and teeth. And examples of this is honeydew melon, kiwi fruit, the green pears, cucumbers, the broccoli, Chinese cabbage, green beans, celery, lettuce, bitter melon, zucchini, spinach, and chayote. And for the blue-purple color category, a lower risk of some cancers, urinary tract health, memory function, and healthy aging. And so examples of these are your blueberries, your plums, your purple grapes, your eggplant, raisins, purple potatoes, the purple Belgian endive, and the blackberries. We also have a white color category, which is heart health. It helps your cholesterol levels that are already healthy and a low risk of some cancers. It's your bananas, brown pears, white nectarines, white peaches, cauliflower, garlic, ginger, mushrooms, onions, shallots, white potatoes, and turnips. One of the things about eating by color is that, before, this research came about, all these different colors and, how to promote certain health benefits and stuff, they classified fruits and vegetables according to vitamin and nutrient level. Like this one is high in vitamin A, this one is high in vitamin C. But that was good because those vitamins are helpful in preventing disease. A lot of people thought that all other fruits and vegetables were not as healthy. So when this new research came about that found that, there are certain colors with certain health benefits in each color, it showed that all fruits and vegetables are healthy. So there's a difference between phytochemicals and vitamins and minerals. So if you're going strictly by vitamin level, like say for example an apple, it may not have high vitamin A or high vitamin C, but it does have the phytochemicals in there that promote certain health aspects. And so the vitamins and minerals, they're essential to maintaining and regulating healthy body systems. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, they help to generate energy or build cells. And vitamins and minerals and carbohydrate, protein, and fats are considered nutrients. Phytochemicals are not considered a nutrient. They're like an entirely different category. They're naturally occurring plant chemicals that have been shown to provide a variety of health benefits. And the actual colors you see in the produce are due to these chemicals. So when you're looking at a fruit and vegetable, besides looking at the color, I know a lot of times people say, well, which ones is higher in these chemicals than others? A good way to look at it is the brighter the color, the more it has. So an example would be if you're comparing, say, an iceberg lettuce to a romaine lettuce. There's a big difference in color. So you can look at that and know which one is the one that has more phytochemicals in it. What color category is a banana in again? White, very good. Hey, this is the first group that said that I've asked a question all the other times before and they said yellow. So, very good. Okay, so what would you put like a sweet potato, you think?
Depends on if it's open now or not.
Yeah, so you're going to look at the middle, right? Or what about an apple, if you look at a red apple? Red. The bright colors, have the certain chemical that makes it bright, that gives you this benefit. If you're looking at something that you want to look at the part of the vegetable or the fruit that is most colorful and place that in the appropriate color category. Yes?
Something I showed you, it says under white, also white wine.
Yeah, and white wine is usually the grapes without the skin, the purple skin. So again, if you're looking at an apple, if you peel the apple, you're not going to get the same benefit than if you eat the apple with the skin on it. There's a difference. So
the phytonutrients are in the skin.
Yes, it's what makes the color. When you think about it, that was what makes the color. So I know a lot of people at this point to hear that they're like, I always peel the apple, but you're not going to get it if you peel it. Yes.
Is it better to eat the apple with the skin on or without the skin?
With the skin.
A couple years ago, I remember there was a controversial issue about the farmers spraying some kind of chemical, airline or something like that. Yeah. So it's kind of toxic then when they spray that on, right? There
are people who are concerned about that. I guess the way around it, if you want to avoid that, is to buy organic. Some people have washed their produce, just kind of with like a mild soap or something, or kind of soak. So I guess there's different ways. And also seen like about a year or two ago, there was some kind of vegetable wash that came out. You can put your vegetables in and kind of rinse it, move it around in there, and then it washed out some of the chemicals. So I guess there are different alternatives you can take. Okay, so in Hawaii, we have a Hawaii 5-a-Day coalition. And, as you can imagine, this coalition, its main intent is to promote fruit and vegetable consumption in Hawaii. It was established in the 1990s. And the partners in the coalition include public, private, and nonprofit agencies, as well as organizations and community members. There's monthly meetings, and there's also a 5-a-Day website that we have, like the monthly meeting minutes and notes and announcements and things on. Here's just some examples of some members that we have that are, actively attending. HPC Foods, Department of Education, Department of Agriculture, Hawaii Farm Bureau, HMSA, Vegetarian Society, Dole Foods, USDA, American Cancer Society, Honolulu Advertiser, Time Supermarkets, Cancer Information Services, Department of Health, and the military. So we have a pretty diverse group. And it's always important to get, like the farmers or the farm type associations involved because, a lot of times what we plan and what we can actually execute is two different things because they'll say, well, this is not in season or this is something that's not realistic, it's too expensive. I mean, they have a very different but useful perspective to things as we have discussion or as we're planning activities. A few years back, we developed this bus poster, which was in all of the buses in the state, in Oahu, I should say, because Oahu is the only island with a bus system. But we had this available. This, the intent was to promote 5 a day. And this character we have for Ikaika, he was kind of developed with the purpose of having some type of, I guess, character or, something that people can associate with the Hawaii 5 a day coalition. Some other projects that the coalition is working on is we're currently working on a school food service manager's nutrition training and certification with the Department of Education. This project actually started last year. It was a project that we started last year with Department of Education in helping the schools to provide healthier school lunch. We had some discussion with Department of Education as well as with some school food service managers. And a lot of them are really not that knowledgeable on what nutrition is, as far as how they can integrate fruits and vegetables in their meals, how to be creative in it. Any of you have been to a school lately, you'll see, the typical peas and carrots or your tossed salad or something, not very original, but at the same time, it's not very desirable for the kids, especially, when they're used to eating more stir fries and more integrated things. So we're working with the managers not only to provide them nutrition education, but how to incorporate that in their cooking, as well as promoting particularly local fruits and vegetables in their meals. We're also going to be developing some standardized recipes. One of the complaints, I guess, we heard from the managers was that there is no standardized recipes, so they may have something like chili on the menu, and there's 50 schools with chili on the menu, but not all of them follow the same recipe. So they'll vary in fat content and calorie content and what they have in it. So it's something we hope to develop and make it more acceptable for them. The Department of Education actually had wanted this training to be mandatory for other managers, and they wanted to make it so that they become certified in nutrition training. So that's kind of great. They kind of took it one step more than what we had originally planned and discussed. And besides the public schools, we're making it available for all the private and charter schools. So there are going to be workshops available on each of the major islands for the cafeteria managers to attend. Besides what I mentioned so far, they're going to ensure that the meals follow USDA guidelines and compliance, because that's where a lot of their funding comes from. So of course we want to ensure that. So right now, the stage where we're at with this project is collecting data from the managers, as far as what is relevant to them, what is their needs, what is their barriers, and how we can work with them. So we're kind of in that stage. There's going to be a pilot training in August. They're hoping starting 2004 we'll be able to take this statewide and start implementing this. So this is very exciting, to actually be working with the schools and affecting the kids in this type of way. When you figure that a lot of kids eat breakfast and lunch in school, that's 2/3 of their meals per day that's coming from school lunch. And then so, it should be healthy and nutritious. We're also developing a school garden website. I know there are a lot of school garden websites out there, but how we are making this website different is that it will be more of the information that you have to know before you even have a school garden. So like how to gain administrative support, how to get the proper permits and clearances, how to find an appropriate coordinator for your school garden. So it's kind of everything you need to know before you actually start your school garden. Listed on this website, though, will also be links to curriculum and resources in the state that they can turn to if they actually do want to turn it to a curriculum-based project. In March earlier this year, we had met with a bunch of people who have an interest in promoting fruit and vegetable in the state, and, just to kind of talk about what it is we need to do to promote 5 a day. What we found is there are a lot of people on the neighbor islands who are not aware of what 5 a day is, and when you ask them what 5 a day is, then they'll say things like eat 5 times a day, eat 5 meals a day, eat from the 5 food groups. They're not really sure what eat 5 a day is, and it's not really promoted, statewide. It's mainly an Oahu-based thing. When you think of HMSA, they're really well known for their 5 a day events. It's really Oahu-based, and so we're trying to think of a way to take it statewide, as well as just to promote education. We think we kind of need to backtrack a little bit and just kind of promote what 5 a day is and how you can get it. After this discussion, this meeting we had in March, when we decided we're going to do a statewide 5 a day education and awareness campaign, and we're going to do promotion through the partners, particularly the newspaper and supermarkets. So what we'd be doing is we'd be having columns in the advertiser that would educate what 5 a day is, using a particular fruit and vegetable that it will highlight. Each month we'll be having one column, and in each column we're going to highlight a fruit or vegetable, talk about its uses, talk about the nutrient level, where you can get it, and in addition to that, we're going to talk about local sources for it. Times has agreed to coordinate with us, so they would make that fruit and vegetable on sale for that week. So that'll be kind of exciting. And then in that process too, we're going to be developing original Hawaii 5 a day brochures and educational materials. A lot of the educational materials are obtained from the mainland. And what we found is it sometimes confuses people, because when they talk about 5 a day in those brochures, they'll be like, eat one apple, eat one bowl of tossed salad, eat this, and then it doesn't really incorporate a lot of the local stuff. Like, it doesn't consider, like, what if you were to eat a stir fry? Those count too. Or what if you were to eat, a stew or something? It doesn't take into consideration those things. So they don't, consider that as a method to increase their fruit and vegetable consumption. They kind of think of it as something different or other, and that they have to eat a whole fruit or vegetable or a tossed salad in order to get it. So we're trying to do that, and then we're also going to be promoting eating by color. So again, what I mentioned earlier, but using real local examples of colorful fruits and vegetables. We're also in the process of developing an original 5 a day logo for Hawaii. What a lot of states have done is they developed their own 5 a day logo, which the state has identified it and put it on their different activities and campaigns and stuff that promote 5 a day. So we're doing that as well. So again, the emphasis of this would be to promote 5 a day recommendations awareness, as well as to promote local produce and farmers, because that will be listed in the articles as well, and promoted to the markets as well. The advantages of promoting local produce and 5 a day is that it will promote increased consumption of fruits and vegetables in schools, like I mentioned, who want the kids in Hawaii are more familiar with local preparations of fruits and vegetables. Increase it among families, or promote buying local, which is something that will help our local economy, and make the 5 a day message more appropriate for Hawaii. And it will lead to a better understanding, increased consumption, and better health outcomes for the people. What some retailers have done, and I just have some examples over here, is they have used the stores to promote eating by color. So as you can see, some of them have arranged their produce by color, and they put little markers in it that says this is from the red group, this is from the orange group, green group, whatever. They also have a little guide available, as they're holding up in the market, so that they can get examples of what fruit and vegetables are in each category, what are the benefits of them. And they have little promotional stickers and stuff on the floors, on the windows, on the glass and stuff. So, this is, something similar to what we hope to coordinate with Times with, as far as promoting 5 a day, making this kind of thing available in the stores. Some other companies like Dole has developed some 5 a day type programs. One of their programs, the Adopt a School program, I guess you could say like a kit that they developed for retailers. And what this kit would do is, if the market chooses to participate in this program, they would adopt one class for a year. They would present gift certificates for teachers to buy produce to support 5 a day activities. They would have samples and demonstrations, sponsor poster recipe contests, speak to the class. They would recognize students and or their families for meeting 5 a day goals, sponsor school-wide 5 a day challenges, work with the PTA to support 5 a day policies in the schools. So it's basically they pick one school and they promote it through the families as well as the classroom, the students, the teachers, everything. So this is a good program. The benefits to the retailer, which Dole likes to promote, is that it promotes positive community relations, it provides more media coverage for their stores, and it provides more loyal shoppers. I have to outline it for the supermarkets as well, so they buy into this program. What Dole also has developed is a book called There's a Rainbow on My Plate, and it was introduced this year in 2003 to supermarkets and elementary schools, and it was created in collaboration with Priola. And this book is meant to enhance existing health curriculum that is already being taught in the school, and it motivates you to eat a variety of fruits and vegetables, particularly from each color group. And the program includes curriculum, like a teacher's guide, a color book, and activity pages, and is internet accessible. And the lessons are extended into the produce sections of the supermarkets. So, they would go to the supermarkets, to kind of, as part of their lessons for this book. Safeway also has developed a 5 a day type program, and one of them called Eat Like a Champion. And with this program, each Safeway store adopts a local elementary school. They provide market tours. Then each student receives 5 a day materials to promote nutrition education, but on top of that, fitness as well. And they use role model soccer stars, the women's soccer team that won, Mia Hamm and that group, to support the message of 5 a day and good physical activity and mental health. Another program that just came out is USDA Fruit and Vegetable Pilot Program. And with this program, the USDA has provided fresh and dried fruits and vegetables for free to 107 elementary and secondary schools in the nation. And they had these fruits and vegetables available throughout the school in kiosks, they had classroom service, and they had school vending machines. When they did this pilot program, they found that approximately 92% of the fruits and vegetables offered were consumed, which is a really high amount. They also, at the same time, did nutrition education and promotion activities to kind of support eating fruits and vegetables. So they conducted this pilot, and based on the success, they developed this report to the Congress asking for more money to implement this more widely in the nation. So it kind of shows that it's not that they don't like fruits and vegetables. It might be more a matter of availability in the schools that may be an issue. What some other states have done is they've asked their supermarkets for the excess produce that they know they're not going to sell, or stuff that don't meet their quality standards. They have the produce available at the schools for sale. And what one school that I read had done is they had it available right where the parents come and pick up their kids. So as they're coming to pick up their kids, they can buy their fruits and vegetables at the same time, and that kind of makes it more convenient for them to eat fruits and vegetables. Farmers markets is always a good place, especially when you're dealing with the neighbor islands and the more rural sections. Like there's no public transportation there. There's no stores in the community. So a lot of times it's not a matter of eating 5 a day, but actually obtaining it might be hard. I know I've heard from Molokai that they said, their fruit and vegetable consumption is dependent on the barge. So if there's bad weather, it's not that they don't like it, if they just can't get it. It's just not available for them. So there's a lot of different issues, I think, related to fruit and vegetable consumption, more than a matter of not liking it or lack of preparation time. There are always new ideas coming up as far as promoting 5 a day. That's probably that I had. I don't know if anybody had any questions or... Yes.
Grape juice for 2 weeks will actually open your arteries, pulmonary arteries, and have great benefit. Do you have information like that you'd like to talk?
I do have information on that. I actually have more specific information, not with me, but, back at the office. But there are certain fruits and vegetables, like within each color category, there are fruits and vegetables that have a greater benefit than others. As I mentioned earlier, it's the brighter, the more colorful, the more it has. I think particularly in regards to grape juice, I can't remember offhand what the specific research it is, but I don't doubt, what it is that you read. Well, that's interesting. That's nice though to know that they're promoting things like that. It's usually the brighter the color. When you're dealing with like in that color category, that like the blueberries, of course, is really high. The blackberries, it has to be eaten in its natural form. So a lot of times people try to market putting it in a pill, and I think many of you might have seen there's some supplements that will say they have lutein in this pill, or they have this other things. But what they found from this research is that you can only obtain it through its natural form, because that chemical works with other nutrients within that fruit and vegetable to create the effect. If they isolate that one chemical and put it in a pill, you're not going to get the same effect as you would if you ate it naturally. So they promote eating naturally. Of course, you wouldn't want to overcook it or overprocess it or anything. I'll use the berries a lot to make smoothies or something. And the blueberries or the blackberries, they have, like in Costco and some of the stores, they have mixed berries, and they find that that's good as well.
How about eggplant itself? There's not that much nutrition these days in eggplant itself.
Yeah.
But you have it listed.
Yes. Because how I had that slide earlier about the difference between nutrients and phytochemicals. So if you went by nutrients-wise, it wouldn't have a whole lot of vitamins and minerals. But if you're looking at the phytochemicals, it does have phytochemicals because of the color. You can see, like dealing with purple eggplant, the color.
So you would have to cook it or not skin it.
Eat the skin. And of course, you don't want to overcook it. I know a lot of people who tend to like fry it or something, and you'll still get that benefit, but the less you process it, the less you cook it, the more benefit you get from it. But if you eat the skin, that's usually helpful. You can grill it a lot, on the grill or broil it or something. That'll work too.
Do you think there are significant nutrient differences between frozen fruit and fresh fruit, or frozen vegetables and fresh vegetables?
There are differences. I don't think they're as significant as, like, say, fresh and canned. I think with the canned, you lose a lot of that nutrients with all the processing that canned goes through. There are probably slight differences with fresh being better.
Well, how about the difference between frozen and cooked?
Frozen and cooked. There's probably more in frozen than cooked, would be my guess.
Sometimes certain vegetables like carrots, you get more nutrition out of cooking.
Yes, and actually,
having the frozen or the raw.
Yes, that
breaks down the fiber in the body.
That is true.
Make it more bioavailable.
That is true. Yeah, there are certain vegetables that you do get more nutrients as it like it's the heating process actually that helps it too.
Another example that is tomato and lycopene.
Mm-hmm.
The tomato sauce.
Yes, that's correct.
Concentrated that will provide more lycopene.
Yeah, there are exceptions. I think also pumpkin is one of them as well. When you eat, I think they compared canned pumpkin, which is processed and cooked already, to like if you were to eat a whole pumpkin. There's a difference to and the benefit you get from a pumpkin. Anything else?
Do you have any words of wisdom on the 3-a-day campaign that is
3 a day?
How many people are soon going to be subjected to?
Are any of you aware of the 3-a-day campaign? What it is?
Maybe we shouldn't tell them. We want to find out.
That's the dairy industry. You get 3 glasses or 3 servings of dairy.
Right. And so what's happening is the dairy campaign now is marketing their dairy foods and dairy products through what they call a 3-a-day campaign. And 5-a-day partnership, as you can imagine, are quite upset by this, partly because they feel it dilutes the 5-a-day message, and it's more confusing because then people think 3-a-day, and they, it's not they think it's maybe the same thing, or they reduce the requirements or whatnot. So it is confusing. I think one of the things with the dairy campaign as well that was kind of upsetting is they don't distinguish between your lower fat options and your high fat options. So they're just saying eat 3 dairy foods, so that could mean your ice cream, whatever, and eat 3 a day. And wow, I know a lot of people like to eat 3 bowls of ice cream a day. Or last that I've heard, the National 5-a-day Partnership has been meeting with the dairy people nationally to kind of get them to at least alter their message or change it somehow, so that people can distinguish it better, trying to get them to promote more their lower fat options rather than their higher fat options. Is there any other questions? I'm pretty much open. Besides fruits and vegetables, any other related question, I'm pretty open to that as well. Yes.
Any particular foods are essential that you just, think everybody should eat every week? Something like broccoli, for instance.
Broccoli would be good to eat. The more often you can eat it. I think spinach is probably another one. A good local equivalent would be like the taro leaves, the luau leaves. That's pretty healthy. Papaya is pretty healthy. The berries, they're all very good. All the different berries are really good. Yeah.
How significant are vitamins and supplements?
Vitamin supplements. Vitamin supplements, I usually, unless you have a difficult time for whatever reason following, a pretty well balanced diet, I wouldn't really recommend supplements. One of the main reasons being that a lot of people are not aware that there are certain vitamins that you can overdose on, particularly the more fat-soluble vitamins is what they term it, like vitamin A. There have been, documented cases in Hawaii where people have received unsound advice from like a GNC salesperson, for example, or something like that, where, they kind of give themselves off as, being trained in nutrition, but then, and they say, take this supplement, it'll really work, and then it's not, and it has a lot of adverse effects. The same thing with herbal supplements. A lot of people think of herbal supplements as being healthy, but they're not required to undergo the same testing that medications are, that are sold in the stores. So their safety has not been adequately tested in most cases. And a lot of times there are adverse effects with other things. Like I read the other day, there's do not take ginkgo biloba, I believe it was, if you take aspirin. Problems with blood vessels rupturing or something like that. I read those, which is pretty interesting. And, I don't think a lot of people would think of, aspirin is such a common medicine, that people are taking. I don't think people would think of there being an effect from taking aspirin and, taking ginkgo biloba, because that's a popular herbal supplement. So I typically don't recommend it, but if you know that you're not eating adequate diet, it is useful. And it's always important to look at the label and make sure, it'll say how much of your requirement you're meeting by taking the supplement, not to really exceed, 100% of many of them. Yeah.
In the supermarkets, we're seeing a lot more of the soy milk products. Do you have any comments about those?
I think it's healthy. I haven't really heard. I know a few years ago people were worried about, there was a study that came out with soy and what was it?
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, something like that. But it was supposed to be the soy product in general, I think, and people were worried about it. I haven't heard of any research or anything that showed it to be a bad thing. It's a good alternative, I think.
What is the best to increase your energy?
Increase your energy. Besides a variety of fruits and vegetables, carbohydrates. Have your carbohydrate foods. That's usually your body's main source of energy is carbohydrates. Make sure you get enough of that. A lot of times people promote the high protein diet, and carbohydrates is seen as a bad thing, but not necessarily. It's your body's main source of energy.
We hear some people say we should eat black olive, especially every meal.
That's probably the fat in the olives. You ever heard of the Mediterranean diet?
As opposed to taking olive oil, eat the olive.
Oh, they said eating regular olives is better than olive oil? Never heard that one, but I would assume it has something to do with, the type of fat that's in it that's beneficial, because, olive oil is supposed to be a good fat that helps to lower your bad cholesterol.
Have there been any studies to show how the 5-day plan from 5-day food group actually promotes anti-aging?
Anti-aging?
Yeah.
There have been studies, kind of going back to the different color groups. The blue-purple group, fruits and vegetables that belong in that has been shown to help with aging, with anti-aging. I've been doing these workshops for the Alzheimer's Association, and I've been kind of promoting eating from that group because there has been studies that shown that has helped to slow the brain from aging. It may not necessarily prevent it altogether, but it will slow the progression or delay the onset of aging of the brain, as well as the cells in general in your body. But there's the brain and the central nervous system. It's supposed to be really good for that. You take a lot of antioxidant vitamins like vitamin A, C, E. That helps too. As far as
what about skin and muscles?
Skin and muscles, vitamin A would be my guess. Vitamin A. Adequate protein always helps.
So when we talk about anti-aging, we're not saying that
it'll prevent aging. Yeah, no. It slows it down, or it may delay the onset of certain age-related diseases or health problems. Okay.
Could you say a few words about the level of cooperation we've gotten from the Hawaii School Food Service in promoting 5-a-day? I think it's been quite remarkable so far. Yeah,
we've actually gotten great cooperation from the Department of Education in promoting fruits and vegetables and just, in promoting good nutrition in general. I think school lunches have gotten a bad rap in the past, and it's very nice and refreshing to see that the Department of Education is taking steps to improve that. We've gotten involvement from the School Food Service branch, from the Office of Hawaii Child Nutrition Program, which deals with USDA in the school lunches, from the Board of Education. So it's been really nice to get their interest and involvement, cooperation. Yes.
Why do you think the obesity rate in Hawaii for children is twice the rate of the mainland?
Good question.
Can you repeat the question?
The question was, why do I think the obesity rate among children is twice that than it is in the nation? I think it's a number of factors. I think besides availability of a lot of fast food and convenience foods, when you think about it, they're going to school, they're spending most of their day in school. If the school lunches are not the best as far as nutrition, that plays a role. You know, they have fundraisers that are available. They have, and the fundraisers are always like, you know, candy or chips or something. And then you have the vending machines that are available and the clubs. A lot of times when you see school parties, they'll say school ice cream parties or school pizza parties. And it kind of creates, I think, a bad message, because on one hand in health class they're learning eat 5 a day, eat this, eat low fat, eat this, and it's like, oh, you've been good, we get an ice cream party. And then so it's like it sees it as those types of food as being, you know, good foods I eat when I'm good, foods that I eat as a reward. I think there needs to be that shift in thinking. Or they'll use physical activity or PE as a punishment. You misbehave, you walk 10 more laps, or, you know, something like that, you know. So there needs to be that shift in what we're teaching them and what is actually being implemented in schools. I think that's a large part of it. I think a lot of times with, you know, the two parents working, then you're dealing a lot of times with, you know, looking for the most convenient, fast thing, you know, drive-through or something quick that they'll make that probably contributes to it. Now there's increased TV watching and video games that a lot of the kids participate in, and that doesn't help any. And then when you look at their recreation, family time, you know, family plays a big role. And a lot of these beliefs and a lot of these behaviors are formed when they're children. You know, what they learn and what they grow up to practice are learned as children. And, you know, it's family recreation time. They rent videos and they sit around and eat snacks and watch a movie or something. And, you know, it's not like, let's go out and take a walk, or let's go to the beach, or let's, you know. So I think it's multifactorial, you know, as far as what contributes to obesity. I think the schools play a role. I think families play a role. You know, the community, just availability of fast foods. You know, fast foods unfortunately is more convenient and a lot of times cheaper. I'm sure, you know, if you went and bought a salad, you would expect to pay, for a good salad, you expect to pay sometimes $7 to $10, whereas, you know, you can buy, you know, a value meal at a fast food restaurant for $2, you know. So there's a lot of things, and I know a lot of people tend to blame genetics on that and say, oh, you know, I'm, you know, genetically predisposed. I'm, you know, the certain ethnicity, I'm predisposed to that. But, you know, this wasn't a problem 50 years ago as it is now. You can't expect your genes to change in 50 years, you know, to all of a sudden have an obese gene that you didn't have 50 years ago. So I think there's a lot of different factors involved.
You mentioned the vending machines. Why do you think they're still on school campuses at all?
Vending machines? Well, I think the most obvious is that, you know, a lot of schools get money from the vending machines. You know, Coca-Cola puts in a machine and says, you know, you have my machine here, I'll buy you a new billboard for the football team. And, you know, that's an appealing alternative, especially with a lot of budget cuts going on with a lot of the State Department, state agencies. You know, they're looking for other avenues of resources. $10,000 billboard they can get for free just by putting this vending machine there. Then it's like, you know, why not? You know, they kind of weigh the options.
You also mentioned that the fast food meals are really cheap. Why do you suppose that is?
Well,
leading question. I'm trying to.
You're building up.
I'm leading in the direction that I want.
Why are they so cheap? You know, they just want to make sales. I think you know, I don't think a lot of the fast foods are as healthy as they like to promote it to be.
Well, the reason they're cheap is because they're getting money from the government. USD subsidies
that too.
That too.
That too. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you very much for having me here.
I want to thank Jodi for coming out here this evening. Can you please fill out this feedback, because we need to get some more information from you or some feedback as to what other topics you would like us to bring for the Healing Foods Forum program. We do outpatient nutrition counseling for people with diabetes. Also, we have diabetes classes that's a 4-week course, once a week. And then we have the diabetes support group that goes on once a month. So those are the things that we have going. And of course, we have the ongoing outpatient nutrition counseling. For those of you who have never met me before, I'm the wellness nutritionist here. I do all the outpatient nutrition counseling along with Dr. Westerdahl, who's our director here for the Wellness and Lifestyle Medicine Center. I also work as a dietitian at the hospital. Another thing that I want to mention is a gentleman had a question about soy milk, specifically soy milk. That's another option for people who are following or trying to follow a lower cholesterol, low fat. Also, soy milk is a better option because also it's a good source of protein. It's a non-meat protein and enriched with calcium, so it's a good source of calcium, and it has phytoestrogens as well. They found that even with the research, some of the research that they're doing now in Harvard, one of the pediatricians that did a study on the young children that are developing type 1 diabetes is because as parents, have been introducing children at such a young age to cow's milk protein. So we're encouraging people to eat more towards or lean more towards a plant-based diet, and one of that would be to add, the soy products, specifically soy milk that's enriched with calcium and B vitamins. I think that's the only announcement we have, right, John? And we want to thank you so much for coming this evening, and hopefully we'll see you with other programs that we have upcoming. Thank you so much, and have a great evening. Thanks, Jodi. Thank you.
Yes, I can. Now that you know about Fiber Day, here's a few things that we like to say. Once you get started,